Hi guys, Sam from Hot Mess Homeschool Mom here with you again tonight. So the past couple of videos I have been leaning very heavily on the classical academic press material I have. I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to introduce you or show you another program that has worked very well for us, and I'm very excited to use and kind of change the game in my homeschool. Math was painful. When we first started, we got one of the box curriculum, and for the better part of a month, again, because could not let go, we trooped through this particular curriculum. At some point I will do a review of it. To be honest with you, I'm dreading doing a review of it because I just really did not enjoy it. But it's well made, but it was just a terrible fit for me and also my 8-year-old at the time, Lovey. So once I decided to do a little bit further research, and trust me, I spent hours researching all of the well-known curriculum out there, you name it, Saxon, Singapore, Right Start. I mean, I literally hours spent comparing and contrasting, and then I heard about this program and I was like, you know what, this seems right up my alley, and I bought the first book in this particular series, and it again was love at first sight. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about Beast Academy. So Beast Academy I'm going to show you level 3, because level 3 is where we started. And so this is level 3A. And the way Beast Academy is set up, it is by levels. It is created by the Art of Problem Solving. The Art of Problem Solving is very well known for upper level math. So when you start to get to high school and you are dreading teaching your child, trigonometry, calculus, statistics, anything like that, please rest assured that AoPS has your back, and you can teach math easily all the way up through high school and beyond. So I kept hearing this brand, and when I found out they made a series for younger kids, I was all over it, because I know AoPS very well, and I was really psyched to see that they made something for the younger crowd. So they initially started with levels 3 through 5. That is what was available when we started homeschooling. Since then, they have introduced level 2. So the way we did it was we started with 3 because Lovey was in 3rd when we started homeschooling, and it made sense. And then I quickly realized that the public school system, there were some significant gaps. And not only that, but I wanted her to learn the Beast way. So what should have taken us a year, and I will show you quickly what you will be getting in a year's time if you are doing a level a year. They're sorted out into 4 different sections. So there would be 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D. So we made it through 3A, and then found out that at that time they released 2A. So I'll show you that. 2A. So we actually went back. We did 3A, and then we jumped down to 2A. And the reason behind that was, again, because I loved Beast Academy. 2, I wanted to make sure I was covering any gaps that were glaringly obvious from her time in the public school system. And 3, because I wanted her to learn the Beast way. And when I say the Beast way, so there's a lot of talk about Common Core. And I know it strikes dread into many homeschool parents. And to be honest with you, that's probably why some of you are homeschooling, is because of Common Core. However, I have a lot of teacher friends and family, and the premise behind Common Core is not terrible. They're trying to teach mental math and in a way that prepares children for that upper level math as they advance into algebra, trigonometry, calculus, etc. So the intent is there. The intent of Common Core is to give these kids the skills they need to complete this math, rather than just plugging in formulas like we were taught to do. So I get it, I get it. I want that mental math, but while the intent was pure, the delivery and the execution was terrible, because it was like 3 aliens plus 2 oranges equal purple grass. And, I remember sitting with my daughter doing first grade math, thinking to myself, what the, you know what I mean? So it was painful to try to learn the Common Core way when it wasn't being explained to the parents correctly. It wasn't being explained to the children correctly. I don't believe even half the teachers understood what it was they were trying to do. So, while Common Core is a dirty word, and now, because it has been so convoluted, Beast Academy takes that intent, takes that mental math, takes those strategies, and really delivers, and it in a common sense way, where you are doing these with your children and you are like, wow, I wish I learned how to do math that way. And even to this day, as I'm doing math with her, I'm learning these mental math strategies that I'm like blown away at how easy they are, and how it sets them up, knowing algebra myself, how it sets them up to learn these things later. And it programs your brain essentially to do these mental math techniques in a way that is not only fun and engaging, but makes sense. So I'm gonna do, I showed you the level 3A. So we did start 3A, we jumped back down to 2. There's a lot of reviews out there for the level 3s. People are excited about Beast. So I've seen some really, really, really good YouTube videos. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. If you would like to check them out, please do. You can look through them. It's how I made my decision to do it. Please avail yourself to those. Like I said, I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel here and do a review on 3 when it's already been done. However, 2 tends to be a little bit newer. So I am gonna go ahead and show you these because I know people are curious about this. 2, so Beast Academy is recommended for gifted children. That being said, gifted is also a loaded word. Whether your child was diagnosed, that's not even a correct word. Whether your child is gifted and has been given that label prior, or whether you feel they're gifted, or whether you know straight out they're not gifted, you can still do Beast Academy. So yes, it's higher level math. I see a lot of parents shying away from Beast in some of the groups I'm in, like, oh, it's gifted, maybe it's not. No, give it a shot, because while it is for gifted students or marketed toward gifted, what you can do is jump down a level if you feel, maybe it's a little too deep. Maybe there's some skills your child hasn't gotten to yet to understand the level that you're on. Whatever it may be, a good solid foundation with Beast is fantastic. I hear that they're going to keep continuing to do levels lower and lower. Again, rumor. When they finish 2, I do believe they're going to go to 1. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Check the Beast Academy website. However, that's my understanding, is they're going to broaden their range. Right now, the lowest level they have is 2, and little dude is not there yet. He's not here yet. So we have been using Singapore, which uses a lot of the same strategies, the mental math, etc. The Singapore way of learning math. We've been using that until I feel he is mature enough and can comprehend these strategies. He can't wait. He wants to do these so bad. That's how good they are. So I'm going to show you why they're so awesome, and why parents love them and kids love them, and math no longer is the equivalent of a root canal in my house. So each level, when you purchase the levels, you can either buy the entire year, which as of for 2 right now, there's only 2C, so you can't get the full 4 4 levels in the set, you have to buy them individually. Whereas with 3, 4, and 5, you can purchase the bundles and get the full year. That's what we did with 3. With 2, you get 2. So you get the textbook and you get the workbook. You need both. You can't skip. You can't just do one or the other. I've heard some parents say, oh, they just read them like a comic book and then they don't do the workbook. I do not recommend that, because as they're reading here, they're reinforcing here, and they are working their way through what they're reading here. They're doing it in different ways so that the mental math actually sticks. So when you get the textbook, so they're pretty thin. You can get through. Lovey was able to get through 4 levels last year. She did 2 of the 3 and then 2 of the 2. So when you get your Beast Academy textbook, what you will first see is that, yes, they are in comic book style and they're fun. And one thing my daughter noticed, which I just, little tiny side note, one thing my daughter noticed is that the characters in 3 are a little bit older than in 2, which is super cute. I didn't notice it. She did, but they are. And they're really, really cute how they make them younger as the levels go down. So they are all in comic book style. And you open them up, and it will tell you, this is guide 2A in a 4-book series. This is the level that you were currently working on. This is what you have coming up. Now, it'll tell you 2A, place value, comparing, addition. 2B would be subtraction, expressions, problem solving. 2C, measurement strategies, odds and evens. D, big numbers, algorithms, and problem solving. Please do not be fooled by the simplistic titles. Place value and addition, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's probably not 2nd grade. They kind of undersell themselves here, because it is not addition that you have seen before, it is not place value that you have seen before, and it is nothing you have seen before as far as learning these things. So there are placement tests on beastacademy.com. Please take them. Please have your children take them. If you want to take them, sure, by all means take them, but you might be not pleasantly surprised to realize that you are not you're not going to understand them, and you may place at a very low level. I am okay with math. Like I said, I did not learn the Beast way, and I am learning something new literally every day, and it's kind of cool. So anyway, so this, you'll see, this is new for us. This just came out in summer, August, not entirely sure, but it's Beast Academy Online. When they were advertising this, I was really super excited about this because my daughter plays Prodigy, and Prodigy, it's a fun game. It's a math game. It's like, I don't really know how to play, but I know she loves it, and I know it uses math facts and skills to kind of move to the next level. So I was expecting something like that. I cannot speak for myself. I have not checked it out yet. What I have heard is that it is literally the books and the workbooks, but online form. If your children love doing things online, by all means do it. I like the books. I've always been a book girl. I would much prefer having the book and the workbook to one passed down to my son, and also just touch feel. It's a personal preference. If you want them, they're online. They are now live. So again, so this will tell you how to use this book, and it'll give you the index page of what you're doing. So it will also introduce you to the characters, which are super cute. They're adorable. My daughter likes to read them in their own little special voice. It's cute. And then it'll tell you, I'm like hitting myself with the book. It will tell you how to read this book. Now, kids that are familiar with comic books or manga, I still don't know how to pronounce that word. What about it? The picture Japanese books that have like comic books. Don't know what they're called, but that style, they'll be familiar with it. You know, how to read left to right, how to read the bubbles. So if you're not familiar with that style, you know, it's a helpful thing. So you'll get to your chapters. Now, how we do this is, so we always start with the book first. Some days she will just read the comic book and not do the workbook. The reason for that is because it will actually tell you in the book at the bottom, and I will show you in a minute, what pages to do in the workbook. Sometimes some of the chapters don't have like a stop here, go do the workbook, so she'll just read the chapter and then we'll continue until it gets to the point in the workbook where it says, you know, reinforce with the exercises. So it's done in little montages, I guess is the word, little skits, different things. It's not all one big story, it's little stories as you go, little chapters. So this is teaching, I believe, place value. So down here, it'll ask you little questions to kind of, as you're doing the work, the textbook with the kids, it'll ask you, like, how many would you put in each row? So you can actually engage with the textbook. The only thing I don't like about this is I had to make her get like a separate notebook, because obviously there's nowhere to write in the book, and I do not want my children writing in the book, so I had her get a little second sketch pad notebook to kind of doodle in as we're doing these problems. Sometimes she can do them mentally in her head, and I'm like, yay, it's working. Other times she wants to write them out, which is fine. So you keep going, and as you can see, we have not gotten to the part yet where there's workbook. So we keep going, and let me just find whether it's at, okay, here we go. So down here, you've gotten to the point where it says practice pages 7 and 11. So this is where I would stop. She finishes that particular chapter. We put a bookmark in it and we show it. Then we would pick up the accompanying Beast Academy workbook, and this is in black and white. It actually tells you how to use it in here, the recommendation. So this video might be, you know, not necessary, as it does show you, but anyway, it'll tell you recommended sequence, guide, pages, practice pages, guide pages, practice pages, and then again you see that's got the visual reminder in the actual book. So then you get the workbook pages. They're in black and white. So 7 to 11 would be that particular chapter. So it depends on your child. It depends on you, how many pages you want them to complete. It also depends on the material here. I mean, there have been days where one page, and again in the higher levels, not necessarily the 2, but in the 3s, there have been pages that are really intense, and they'll take her the better part of an hour, and she's a quick kid. But some of them are intense. So some days we can get, you know, like this one's pretty simple. So she banged those out really quick, and we were done with that particular one and on to the next chapter and on our merry way. It's one of those curriculums where you can feel good about just kind of going at your own pace. You're not missing anything. There's no rush. There's no, you do to mastery. And that's kind of why I love this so much. It was fun. There wasn't really pressure. And if we did one math page a day, I did not feel guilty because I knew the content on that page was equivalent to what would have been, you know, 3 or 4 pages in the old book that we were using, the old program. So I was comfortable with 1 page a day. And so was she. What you'll see here is that you'll see these starred problems. There's 1 star. There's also 2 starred problems. You'll see right there. So these are the hard problems. Now, I mentioned my daughter's perfectionist tendencies before. The star, for whatever reason, used to freak her out. I don't know why, because she could do the problems, but her anxiety would go because she'd think they're really hard. And on the flip side of that, when she did the star easily, it was such a boost of confidence that that started to actually help her perfectionist tendencies. But if you have a kid like mine that does not like hard stuff, maybe make the starred things extra credit, or I don't even know whatever you want to do. But just so you know, there are harder problems in there. For those harder problems, for those of us parents who are looking at this mental math and thinking, oh gee, this is not how I learned it, there's hints. You can do two things. You can do hints for selected problems, and there are all of them there, not just the odd ones. You can give your kid a hint or let them read the hint. If you still can't get it, and there have been times where my daughter and I will sit and work on a problem and neither of us can get it, and we're like, what? You can then go to, and this is on level 2, so don't be fooled. This is some pretty good stuff here. You can actually get the answer, and not only just the answer, but it will tell you how to do the answer, how to get to the answer. And then you get that oh moment, and you can explain it to your child, and you can have that oh moment together, so that math isn't it isn't a mystery anymore, and it's not, oh, show your work, or it doesn't count. It's you get the reasoning behind it, and again, it sticks. So the next time they see something similar, they remember not just the formula, but the thought process and the mental math that goes behind how to get that problem. So we have referred to the back quite a bit, and it's great. I mean, place value, the 1s to 10. So this is pretty simple, if you want to say simple. It's really not. This says 2nd grade. Again, we used it for 3rd, and it worked out really well. And the things that she had already learned, I didn't really care that they were doubled up. Again, she learned the Beast way, which I love. And also it was a confidence booster, rather than jumping right into the hard stuff. If she saw stuff she already knew, it was like, oh, I know this. And it just boosted her confidence levels to tackle those harder problems. So that's pretty much 2A. I will flip through again because 2 is newer. I'm gonna not necessarily flip so much on the workbook, but maybe the textbook. So this is a game number line conquest. So they teach the number lines in public school, but not necessarily like this. This was like a game we had to play together, which she really, really enjoyed. These she loved. And, oh, this brings me to a good point. So these Honeycomb Puzzles, they actually, on the Beast Academy website, they actually have extra printables, which I didn't do the Honeycomb ones, but I did print off like what you can find on the Beast Academy website. So I'll have something like this, and it'll say, print whatever. They don't have a whole lot of them, but they do have the Honeycomb Puzzles, and she loved those. And she would actually ask to do them for like fun when school was over, so I was all about that. The dog again. Do you believe my dog wants to be in all of my videos? Greater than, equal to. So for this, like greater than, equal to. So obviously, they're taught in school greater than, equal to, but this was use the digits 2, 3, and 4 once to make all 3 comparisons true. So they actually had to start thinking about place value as well, instead of just greater than or equal to make this true. So this was cool. This was a little bit of a spiral approach. I do believe Beast Academy is a mastery-based program, but you can see there's some spiraling within it. It's where they need to use skills they've already used, and they're kind of swished in there without them realizing it that they're using these skills. So these are fun. I'm trying to find a way to show that the Beast Academy way. I do believe it was more in the multiplication. I mean, there were some pretty awesome like tips in the multiplication on how to like multiply large digits. Again, with the place values, use the greater than or equal to, but use place value. Find the sum, complete the sum pyramid. So here she had to, build upwards with addition. The tops usually reinforce what they've already learned in the chapter lesson. It'll give you a little, 1, how to do the problems, and 2, also reinforce the lesson. So to double 95, we add 95 plus 95. We can add by place value. So there's that. This is this is kind of Common Core a little bit with the way in which they teach, but it makes sense here. And I wish I was a little more articulate with my words and how to explain the difference. Language is my thing, not necessarily math, so I can't really explain how it's different, but it's different. So if Common Core made you insane, or you just really don't even know what Common Core is, one, you're lucky. And two, these strategies make sense. They don't leave you scratching your head going, huh, how did they come up with that? It makes sense. And it makes sense to the kids, and it makes sense to you, so that you're not pulling your hair out in trying to teach math. So we made our way through 2A. She did this pretty quick. Again, there were some gaps. There weren't a whole lot of gaps, but there were some significant gaps that we found where, you know, she should have maybe known that information and did not. You know, was it the public school system? I don't know. Was it her? I don't necessarily know. But again, it didn't hurt to learn it the Beast way, and it built her confidence when we started getting into harder stuff with 3. So that's pretty much the workbook. Same thing with 2B. 2B was 2B or not 2B. Sorry. 2B was subtraction, expressions, problem solving, and selected problem. Subtraction, again, you know, there's only so many ways you can teach subtraction, but it did teach it in a fun way, and reinforced it. Like here, here's a starred problem. I can tell she freaked out here because she didn't do it. I guarantee you it was one of those, Mom, I'm struggling. Can I skip this one? And I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm not gonna drive you crazy. Here's a 2-star one. She probably saw the 2 stars and freaked out. And it was just one of those days where, you know what? Not worth it. I knew she knew it up here. I wasn't gonna, you know, make her brain hurt by the end of the day. So here she is showing her work. I want to get to expressions. Oh, this was a fun one. I like this one. Oh, here's some logic. There's some logic built in there. I like that. I really like that one. These were always fun. These are hit. You see these quite a bit throughout the series, where you have to solve the sum box puzzle. So they have to, well, this could be an entire video in and of itself, but basically there has to be a certain pattern where the numbers equal to each other, and there can only be 1 or 2 solutions. So she actually has to figure it out and go through each one to see if it makes sense. So that was fun. So number relation. Again, I'm not mathy. I'm more language. I'm okay at math, but this is not my thing. And this Beast Academy just made math something that most parents are apprehensive about teaching to begin with, especially if they're not mathy. This was a game changer in our homeschool, and I cannot say enough about it. If you are struggling with math, if you're kind of about your math program right now, give one level of Beast Academy a try. The books are $20. The workbooks are $12, I believe. So even if you just want to give it a shot, try one level, see how you like it. I can't imagine you'll be disappointed because they're just fun, and really, you know, why not make an already tough subject more fun? So that's the workbook for 2B. I have not purchased, here's the guide for 2B. I have not purchased 2C yet. I would like to have her get through the rest of 3, as technically we're now in 4th grade, 4th-ish grade, I don't know. I want her to finish the 3rd. So yes, even though she did finish 4 levels and we did go back for a particular reason, I would like to just use the curriculum I have before I buy more, get her through the C, then we'll go back and maybe do 2C with measurements and strategies, odds and evens. She's got the Beast Academy way pretty down solid. These will be for fun. Again, there may be some things in there that we missed, but for now, we're gonna work on C. But 2C is out. I believe 2D is on its way out shortly. There is, as of oh goodness, what month are we in? October. As of October 2018, I do not believe 2D has been released. So check the website as to release dates. So here's taking away, counting up, a little extra expressions, guessing. One thing I basically covered 2 in this video, level 2. One thing I do want to say that I was really, really impressed with. We are currently on, we've done 3A, 3B. I'm looking for it, bear with me. Right now we are on level 3C, and something that just kind of popped out at me that really, really, really just reinforced my decision that this was an excellent program. In this, right now we're learning solving equations for n, okay? Now, I might be old. I'm not sure. I'd like to think I'm not old. But I cannot remember ever having the alphabet in my math when I was in elementary school. There was no solving for n. There was no explaining that n and t can, you know, mean different things. There was none of that. It was pretty simple. It was memorize your multiplication, learn long division, you know, and you'll get to algebra when you're in middle school or high school. My daughter is doing algebra, and that blew my mind. And I just was really super excited about that. Yes, she's gifted, but also the beauty of homeschool is that you're on your kids' level. You can reach to your kids' level. I'm sorry, not reach to your kids' level. You can allow them to reach for more if they want more. And, you know, she took this and literally just ran with it. Like, this was easy to her. And I thought we were going to really struggle with the concept of, you know, finding N or M, or, you know, in this one she had to find M and B. And so, I mean, third grade, what technically this should be 3rd grade. So AoPS, or Art of Problem Solving, is amazing. And Beast Academy is even more amazing because it brings the principles of Art of Problem Solving, which is for gifted children and for people that actually participate in math competitions. It brings it to the kids, and not in a patronizing way, but in a fun, exciting way that makes them actually want to learn math. My child, Lovey, really enjoys this. And again, math prior to Beast Academy was tears and hysterics and I don't want to. And once we brought this into the picture, that changed. And little dude, who is on Singapore, which we love. I'm not going to do a Singapore review because it's been done a million times, and you know, the information's out there, and it's a great program. It's a proven program. You know, Singapore is awesome. It's solid, and it is a nice segue into Beast Academy if you have littles and you plan on using this. I may attempt to with him later this year, possibly. I'm not sure. Really depends on him, but he can't wait to do Beast Academy, and I can't blame him because I'm enjoying it. So anyway, so that is my very long-winded explanation of Beast Academy. I cannot say enough about it. Try it. You will like it. This is one of the ones, again, I said I would reserve judgment about the good and the bad and all that stuff in my first video, but this is one that I really, really believe in and gladly give my money to when the time comes and we are up to the next level. It's kind of like, here, take my money, because it's that good. So that is my review of Beast Academy as a whole, and really 2A and 2B in particular. If you would like to see more, if you would like a more in-depth review of either 2A or B in and of itself, and or more information on any of the 3 levels, please leave it in the comments below. I will happily address it and do another video if it is warranted. Again, please like my video and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And come visit me over at hotmesshomeschoolmom.com. So I'm going to say goodnight for now. Have a great night, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.